Hey, welcome back. We have something new and exciting today, a whole bunch of knives, and I am trying something new. So a buddy of mine from Reddit, Knife Swap, and I each gave each other like 5 or 6 knives, and we're gonna check them out. There were knives that neither of us had, right? So he had 5 or 6 knives I didn't have. I had 5 or 6 knives he didn't have. We sent each other the knives, you know, similar kind of value, and didn't exchange any money. And we're going to check them out and see how we like them and then decide if we want to buy them from each other and stuff. So this is kind of fun. This is a really cool way of doing more of what I do in a different way. So let's see what we got here. Love this. Apply knife here. Let's get this out. All right, I should have checked with them if everything in here was safe to just show right on the screen. But let me, I'll go ahead and apply knife here. And it'll be a true test of my edge today. The edge is true, my friends. Let me just pull this out and make sure it's something I can share. That's great. A little bit of a Star Wars fan, my boy. That's awesome. All right, let's see what he says here. I'm gonna put my finger over his name, just in case, because I didn't talk to him about it. Hey Dan, thanks for doing this awesome trade. Never done this before, but damn, it is fun. Included for your snicky satisfaction, Winterblade co-factors. This is the Gen 1, which I was really excited to get my hands on. You'll be seeing some videos around Gen 2 coming out soon. Divo mesh, which I missed in the drop. Kunwu, I had never tried anything from Kunwu, but the X-Tao and the Zen. Jared Oster, I think you pronounce it. Kickstop. This one's actually not in the box. He left it on his desk and he's sending it separately. Please enjoy the hell out of these knives, as agreed. Light use only, please. Oh, darn it. I was going to go take them in the backyard and baton the hell out of some wood to chop it up for the winter. Oh, well. If you fall in love with any of them after slicing muffins, then we can definitely discuss how to go about a fair trade. The only thing I'd request is return that factor. Darn it! Okay, darn it. I thought maybe I was going to get a factor out of this Gen 1, but oh well. We'll see how that goes. Should I give you dessert first? I think so. I think we should just start with dessert today. If the algorithm gods are kind, then this was a good decision. Okay, he's definitely left this very factory. He's got the silicone here. Now, if you're not familiar with this, this is a knife, one of the first knives, well, the only knife, I think, that implemented magnets, both for the detent as well as the deployment and lock. So, super interesting. They've got this Gen 2 just came out. The Mirage is coming out, which is just a bar lock. It doesn't have this thing. And yeah, anyways, let's stop talking about it and hear the famous ting that it's gotten its name for. Okay, there's a ting, indeed. Feel in hand is okay. It's a little flat, but there's a nice little choke up point, so there's plenty of room. For a size knife that it is, it's got a lot of room for a big hand, which is cool. Hand bigger than mine, so that's neat. Feels very strong on the lockup. The action is something I like a lot more than the that's cool. Then I like the axis lock, where you kind of have to grab both sides for it to work well most of the time. Interesting. Okay, let's see if I can get this to. There we go. Okay, the fidget factor is real here. I want to see how my buddy Kevin, Lefty EDC, figured out how to beat me on the quick draw. And now I understand. He held the button down. He was holding the knife this way, and I didn't know what he was doing. He was holding the button down, so when it kicked up, it just popped right back down after that sneaky guy. So he did something like this. Faster than you. Stinker. Super cool knife. I really get why so many people are so excited about this. I don't know if I can, yeah, shit. The appointment's really good on it. What can I say? Like, I've never handled this knife before. You know, that's pretty awesome. That's a pretty cool little idea too. It's actually probably slower because you have to take your finger off and go back there and do it. But I guess if you do it that way, it's pretty fast. And love the blade shape too. It's a really nice blade shape. You can see he's put a little use on it. A little bit of use on it. But it feels like it's still a factory edge. Very slicey. Very thin. This is nice. You know what? For the money, this is a really cool knife. A lot of people are, you know, for 360 bucks, this is a really cool knife for the money. With M390 blade steel, I'm impressed. The carbon fiber is really nice. It's definitely not the best feeling in hand, but for like a utilitarian knife, it's a brilliant idea. And again, never used this thing before. Very easy to deploy. You can use the meat of your thumb or your fingernail. You can kind of ding it in there. That's cool. All right, we got a lot of knives to cover. I could do a whole video on that for sure. That's my first experience with it, and I hope you're impressed as I am. It's certainly not going to be the knife for everyone, but that's freaking cool. What Brian Winter, I think his name is doing at Winterblade with the Factor, the Mirage, and others is, it's really neat. I think I'll leave some of these out here for my buddy so he feels like this is a very custom video for him. It's funny. Big Star Wars fan. That one feels appropriate. That one feels appropriate for the Factor. I should have had that out during the Factor unboxing. All right. So the next one I was really curious about in this group is the Divo Mash. I'd heard just really good things about it after the drop, that people were really impressed with the action and that it was on par with a Roosevelt. Maybe not on par, but like was a challenger. Wow, it's much heavier in hand than I expected. Is this? That's a really impressive blade length too. I did catch myself on the top of my finger at the rock wall today, so I gotta be a little careful. Ooh, that is really good. Damn, drop shut. This one used it all? This one looks like it's probably still new. That's it. That is impressive. It's very different than the Roosevelt. The Roosevelt I would characterize as being snappier, more precise. This feels a little like kind of loosey-goosey by comparison, but let me just, yeah, it's snappier. A little less drop shot, actually. This is so nice. I can't believe this knife was $136. Wow. Dude, Lefty, if you're watching this, good freaking job. I'm going to do a whole video on that one. This one needs a video. That's phenomenal. And look, I like the guy. I like Kevin a lot, or Lefty EDC and the Divo team. They're really cool. I did not like the Growler. I love the Stout, but I felt like it was very expensive. What they do on this? 14C28N, so that's a great choice. A very balanced steel. Maybe not the best for like edge retention, but not bad, and a really good stainless property, and it's a really good all-around steel. I can't believe they did this for 136 bucks. So this tie, god damn, how did they do that? So this is much better than the Growler. And it costs twice as much money, but the size of the blade and the blade shape I really like. The feel in the hand is awesome. It's got an inset liner lock. I mean, this is really a sweet knife. If you missed this, try and get one on the secondary. I think they're going to do a second run of these. But this knife is worth having. That's a really nice hollow grind on there too. God damn, that's an impressive knife. So now 2 for 3 for a brand new knife company with the stout and the mash both being really great knives. I'm impressed. All right, let's keep moving. I'm gonna do a whole review on that. That's awesome. Just gonna grab something out of here. Looks like I got a Kunwu. This thing looks like it's pretty much new in box. And this one is the Zen Compact. Nice little finishings and stuff there too. Ooh, what I noticed right away is this orange peel is very unique. You don't see that on a lot of knives. Pocket clip's nice. I didn't even bother with the pocket clip on the other knife, but I don't know if he bent that up. He may have bent that up a little bit. He does that kind of stuff. Ooh, that's really nice too. Looks like this one actually does maybe have a little bit of use on it. I can't tell if it's condensation or if it's been used a little bit. This is a super interesting deployment. So he's got a flipper tab, the finger choil, or not the finger choil, but the thumb hole, which is definitely more designed for the reverse flick. But it also has like a front flipper on it. I can't get it right now because I got this injury from a crab. I plunged my finger through a crab shell. So I'm not gonna be able to do that today. I don't know if I want to try it left-handed or not. Probably not a good idea. Feels really good though. So this one definitely you want to choke up on. It does not feel good if you're not choked up on it. You get some like kind of weird hot spots. It's not bad, but you just feel like you're back on the knife. So it's definitely a knife that's meant to be choked up on, but it's a nice slicey blade. Thick at the top, but it does a really aggressive, not aggressive, I guess, but a really nice hollow grind on it. That's a nice knife. I think these are only about 200 bucks too, despite all those finishings, and the weight in hand is really nice too. This is pretty fun so far, by the way. Sorry that you're not getting to do what I'm doing right now. This is pretty cool, getting all these knives in hand for the first time all at once. So the triple deployment's really neat. I've never seen anything like that, where you have all 3 deployments. I mean, the Brown FSD you can, but it's just, it feels like they've engineered this in a very creative way. And I really like this at the top. Maybe that's something you can do with your finger. I don't know, probably not. I'm just not gonna be able to do this without probably bleeding out today. This is almost healed, but as you saw, that kind of popped me open a little bit. So we'll leave it be. Leave the athletic stuff for the athletic days. Yeah, that's a really cool knife. Really like the grind finish on there too. That's a neat, like, you know, the grind goes very high up. Cool. I'm really impressed. I like that one. And it's a frame lock, but I didn't seem to get myself. So a very effective frame lock design. I like where the pocket clip is. It almost kind of acts like an inset frame lock because of that, because the pocket clip kind of helps you stay off of it. See, the pocket clip actually rests on the frame as opposed to on the lock, on the lock bar. Cool, neat knife. I'm gonna keep this very organized for his sake. This is the one that he sent the box, and then he like picked up some papers from his desk and it wasn't there. So I'm excited to see this. This is a pretty interesting design with this kickstop thing that the flipper stays on the flipper side and doesn't follow the knife. It's not part of the blade or something like that. It's like separate from the blade. And so you don't, you know, end up with like a flipper sticking out in the front. So I'm definitely curious about this one when it gets here. So we'll see that next week sometime. And then another Kunwu here. One I'm really curious about is X-Tao, because it has, you know, their version of the axis lock. And there have been a lot of sort of what I'll call new attempts or new goes at the axis lock since the patent came up, and there's some definite improvements on it. Man, these Kunwu knives are really heavy. They're substantial feeling. Like heavy in a good way, I'd say. It's a little bit of both probably, but ooh, very light. Oh, of course, it's an axis lock. It feels like a knife that doesn't have an axis lock because of the weight of it. So the detent's light because of that, which is kind of weird. So I gotta think of it as being like my bug out. And then I think one of the things that they've done really nicely is give you a really nice purchase there to be able to do that one-handed instead of having to grab it with both fingers like that. That's so annoying on the bug out. The rollout's obviously super nice. They do a really nice grind on their knives. The feel in hand on this one's better than the prior one. This X-Tao feels really nice in hand versus the Zen Compact. It doesn't have the choke up point, but just the regular grip position's just nice. Now, a cool thing about this lock is, you know, this is, you can do it with your finger too because it's on the other side. This is damn good. You know, that competes with either a button lock or a shark lock. It's probably not as, well, bar locks are strong, so it's pretty sweet. Elmax blade steel too. These are only about 209 bucks. I can't deploy it for a damn without just flipping it open. There we go. So I'd say that would be the one thing, is because the detent is light. It's kind of hard to be very intentional to get it out. There we go. Now I'm starting to get it. Okay. That's a sweet knife. I'm impressed. These knives are all worth having. Like, I could totally see this being my daily driver knife. It's a good all-around one because, again, you get this nice orange peel again. A really easy pocket clip there. I'm a big fan of the wire clips. They're a little less secure, I found, but they're really easy in and out of pocket. It's a very functional straight back blade shape. Elmax is a great blade steel. That's a sweet knife. For, you know, you compare this, I'd say would be a really good comparison to the $315 shark, I call it the shark lock, 80-20.5 with the titanium, the sort of flat titanium. That's a really interesting comparison. I think it weighs a little more than they're pretty similar. Yeah, that knife deserves its own review as well. That's sweet. Really like this improvement on the axis lock. It's just nice that it stays straight. I just find with the bug out, like, it's very inconsistent when you pull it with one hand. See that? If I pull with both hands, no problem, every time. Pull with one hand, oftentimes won't close. Now maybe mine just needs to get worked in more, but this one, straight up, really nice. That's awesome. Kunwu X-Tao, really like that. This has been fun. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Just a little bang, bang, bang. And of course, you had to guess I'm going to go back to this thing and just ting it open a couple more times because freaking magnets, right? That is just so cool. I don't know if if you can hear that, and sorry for the grotesque thumb. But the ting is real. That's really fun. Yeah, this is a great knife. I get the hype for sure. I'm excited for the Gen 2s I have coming in. I have 2 different color variations of the Gen 2 coming in this week. So this is a black one. I got a gray one and a blue one coming in. So very excited for that. And with that, where's the last knife? That was a quadruple unboxing. It was supposed to be a quintuple, but very fun little group of very nice knives here. And 3 reviews I think I'll be doing coming out of this. I really wish this had some sort of, it's not, you know, it's a really good liner lock, so it's fine. Gosh, for the price, I just can't complain. This thing is so good. I just got spoiled because I just went through a bar lock and a factor. But it's really good for a liner lock, actually. This is a sweet knife. I'm excited for these. Good job to Kunwu, Winterblade, and Divo on some great knives here. It's good stuff that's coming out for reasonable prices compared to what we used to see in this industry. And a lot of innovation that's sitting here in front of us. So I enjoyed that. I hope you did too. Please comment. Let me know if there's one of these you'd like me to do more on, points that I missed. Obviously, these are not in-depth reviews. These are just quick little unboxings and first impressions, but some fun ones there. And thanks very much to my buddy and to Reddit for making this possible. This would not have happened without that community culture, and what a joy that just was. So we'll see what goes down on the trade side, on the financial side offline, but I'm definitely interested in some of these knives, whether I either give him his back and buy them myself or do some trades with him. These are a great bunch of knives that are each one of them is worth the money, in my opinion, right away. I'd say this one I'm a little less excited about versus the other 3, but in its own way, it's very exciting too, because it's just so versatile in the deployment. And it's a really nice little knife. So if you want a multi-deployment knife, something very fidgety, I think it's a really cool one. I unfortunately can't do the front flipper right now, but you know, the other 3 I think are all really compelling for daily users as well. So cool stuff. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Please like, subscribe, and have a good one.